Good evening. Good evening. Thank you for the opportunity to speak out here tonight. It's great to come out to the northern Shenandoah Valley and meet with you folks here. It's a pleasure to see a lot of you folks again. My name's Howie and I'm running to be the 10th District Chairman, and let me tell you why I'm doing that. First off, let's kind of set the stage of what's happening to not only this district and our state and our nation. The nation is at peril. Our nation is at peril right now. This White House, this Congress, the terrible things that have been happening this past year, we all know about it, but the excessive taxation, taking over different parts of the industries, of American industry, the attack and the weakening of our national security and defenses, which I hold very dear to me as a retired former naval officer. Anything to do with any attack on our military or weakening of our defenses, I hold is very emotional for me. So what do we do? Okay, with this as the backdrop, with this onslaught, as I call it, to our nation, we in Virginia just had historic elections. Bob McDonnell, Bill Bolling, Ken Cuccinelli, great victories, rolled to victory. We have this momentum behind us as Virginians and as Northern Virginians within the 10th District. So what my goals are running for 10th District are to enhance that at the district level from school board on up, and to be able to do that, to have you folks in here and others like you running for these offices, local and state offices. First, be able to do that, we need to figure out who's there, who's in all these local elected offices. With excessive taxation at local and state levels, you got to figure out, well, what boards are impacting this with these taxes. So we need to do an inventory of who's there by name, by position, by party affiliation, and when their next elections are. Next year, 2011, a lot of these local elections will be held. So my goal is to figure out who's in there, and let's go find and support and run strong conservative candidates for these seats. Actually, I've been doing that for the last couple of years. Before I even started thinking about running for the 10th District, I live in Fairfax County on the eastern end of the district from here. But a couple of years ago, or fall of 2008, I recruited Barbara Comstock to run for the House of Delegates. She's a great candidate, and she's down there now in Richmond. She won, and she's my delegate there. And interestingly, that year in 2008, as we were out there campaigning for our president and senator and Frank Wolf as our congressman. That year in 2008, Frank was talking to me all year about running for that seat, that House of Delegates seat in 2009. And at the end of the year, I said, Frank, I'm sorry, I can't. Between work and family and other things, I just couldn't run. But I've got Barbara to run, and she's done great. So, but the other thing is, right now we have 3 candidates within Fairfax in my local area for Board of Supervisors, School Board, and State Senate lined up for next year. So I want to implement that throughout the 10th District. And there's 10 units within the 10th, 10 and 10. Clarke is one of them. There's other counties and cities from the West Virginia border to Arlington, basically. So that's kind of the major theme. The other categories I want to focus on is openness in our party. Ma'am, you brought up the Tea Party. Sir, you brought the Tea Party question up. Absolutely. The Tea Party needs to be part of the Republican Party. And I call it the Tea Party spirit. I've been to the rallies. I went to the 9/12, the September 12th rally downtown, and others, and that energy is in everybody. All conservatives and Republicans know that. Okay, they're just expressing it. They're out there with their flags and all that. That they need to be part. If they're not part of our party, then we're missing out big time. And not only that, all the other conservative groups that should be voting with us, the pro-life, pro-Second Amendment, which I support, anti-tax, they need to be voting with us every time. If they are, we win. I mean, that's the gist of it. It's not a secret. But if they're not, then we don't always win. A few other things, educating the public. Ronald Reagan, he was great. That period of time in our history was wonderful. Those principles need to be applied today. Many people don't even know who Reagan was. They need to be educated. They were either too young now, or they just forgot about it. We need to re-energize that Reaganism right now. Raising money year-round. Conservatives and Republicans, we get outspent a lot of times. We need to be raising money year-round for our good candidates. Technology, we should never be outmatched by any Democrats at all. We should be superior technology-wise. On election day, turning out the vote, absentee balloting, all that should be just solid technology. We should be using it all the time with us. So I'll wrap it up and just say philosophically pro-life, pro-Second Amendment. I signed the anti-tax pledge years ago. I ran for the state Senate in 2003, and it's still effective. Strong military and pro-defense. The election again is on May 22nd. You've seen the forms. You need to sign up by March 1st for Clarke, because that's coming up, to be able to be a delegate to go to Warrenton, the Fauquier High School on May 22nd. I ask for your vote at that time to be your next 10th District Chairman. Thank you very much.